I'm snuggled up in bed with Batty and just being. Bear's snuggled on the floor. He's being. Listening to the noises outside, the birds. And ducks were chirping. Little bits of rustling of the leaves in the trees. It's a good day. I think the importance of being and slowing down is that when we get to be with ourselves and really do slow down and just allow whatever it is that needs to be allowed in the moment, whether we're grumpy or cross or angry or frustrated or anything at all, whatever's there and we're just allowing it to be, it really is a beautiful thing and a true blessing to be able to sit and experience that and allow it to process, because then we can be fully present in the moment with what is. And I know it's not easy to be fully present because we get caught up, and I can be here one moment and the next minute my mind will take me off on a little journey, and I'll be like, yeah, when I notice, it's like, caught up again, are we? What are we looking at? Okay. That's okay, you know. Where was I? Where was I? My breath. And then I'll just return back to the present moment. And I can just be and allow myself to be without judgment. And when I drift off into whatever it is that I'm caught up in, I don't judge myself for that. I don't go, oh, you know, you shouldn't be thinking this, or you shouldn't have done that. Because that's you're kind of telling yourself off for being human. it's like, really, that's not necessary. You are human. You're not superhuman. So when you drift off, that's okay, and you've noticed it. So at that moment that you're noticing it, you are back in the moment and ready to move forward and move forward in that moment and into presence and being in that moment of just love and gratitude and acceptance of all that is, you know. So that's where I'm at. I'm being present in the moment, just watching the branches on the olive trees and the blades of grass and the birds that fly past and the wind. It's also very beautiful. And as things rise up for me, as they do, in the ocean of my mind, I acknowledge what's there, and sometimes it passes and sometimes I get caught up, and that's cool. I'm totally cool with that. So yeah, I'm so grateful to be able to be present and do this. And just be in the moment, because for a long time I wasn't able to be in the moment. I was so busy doing, I was so busy working, and working's good, you know, but everything in balance. So when we were trying to do and we're working at doing things, doing our job, doing our roles, being a mum, you know, being a house person and a security operative or a farmer or a mechanic or whatever it is that you're doing in that moment, when you're doing and you're so caught up in your job, you're not enjoying the full presence of being. I mean, I suppose the best job I've ever had for being was farming, because I could fully be present in the moment and listen to the pigs chomp, chomp, chomping and the little stomping on the feet as they walked, or, you know, the little noises of pleasure and happiness and fun and playtime, and so much, you know, amazing things that you can enjoy when you're out in the open with such beautiful animals, and watching the red kites and having beautiful people to work with. That was a beautiful time of life and a beautiful job. And when we're able to be fully present in our job and what we do, then we're able to be. Whereas when I was doing, say, my security roles, more often than not, I was in the role of being the security operative, being present, and as I was being present, observing absolutely everything that I could possibly observe to make sure that nothing got missed, not any angle, making sure the people, places and things were safe and secure, making sure everything was covered, you know. There's a lot to think about, especially live events where people being are busy, you know, drinking and singing and dancing and often trying to take drugs or trying to get in and out with drugs and stuff like that. And in those kind of environments, you have to fully be present and be aware to act, and you have to act quickly when anything happens. So in circumstances, situations where you're kind of on guard, you're not able to fully be, because you're so busy trying to make sure everything's safe that you're not able to just be and enjoy the moment, because you're so determined to make sure everything's right, you know. So being, when you're so busy being, when you're being, you're not doing anything other than being in that moment. But when you're busy doing, and you're so caught up in that role, in that doingness of rushing from one place to another and going between jobs and driving and being a parent and running the house, or, you know, paying the bills and sorting out the vehicles and doing everything that you have to do to survive and just get through another day. There's so much going on in them days, you know. There's so much doing going on. There's so much you have to think about, as, you know, those days when we were, like, when we lived as communities and we were all able to share the roles, so we could share the care of the children and the care of anyone who needed care in the community. You could take care of those who were ill and those who were vulnerable, and you could make sure that everyone got fed, and, you know, everyone was taken care of. Well, now, the way that most societies are and communities, we're so separate, so like divided. So like there's no full taking care of everyone present, and everyone's so busy caught up in their own personal roles, in their own little houses, in their own little worlds, that their worlds don't often involve the care of others. Or you get that busy caught up in trying to care for everyone else, you forget yourself. Because instead of it all being shared responsibilities and you all having your own roles within the community, you're all just taking full responsibility for you and all sorts of things that are actually in your circle of concern, not your circle of responsibility. Because you think if no one else does it, it would all go incredibly wrong and maybe people get hurt, blah 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 blah, and therefore you must do it and you must take on the responsibility. And well, the karma of taking on other people's responsibilities is high. The samskaras, the cost of taking actions to take on the responsibility of others, making things your business, which is really not your business, and you're your business, and your children are your business, but your vulnerable adults who you take care of, who you chose to take care of, maybe your elderly children, well, older children, adult children, or maybe their siblings or something, who you take care of as a carer, you know. But it's got to be kind of consensual. You can't just go around taking care of folk without their consent, you know, because maybe they need to learn to take care of themselves. So all these things matter, and at the end of the day, what matters most is you, and finding a balance between what you're doing and how much energy you're putting out there and giving to everyone else, and how much you're saving for yourself. You know, what are you saving for yourself? What energy have you got for yourself? How much care are you taking of yourself? How much self-compassion is there? The understanding for what you actually need to do. How realistic is your expectations for yourself, and what's the karma of what you're choosing to do in maybe trying to take care of others? Do they want to be taken care of? You know, what is it that you believe? What is it that you're caught up in? Well, these questions. And there's many questions, and at the end of the day, we have to tune into ourselves to be able to really be present for other people. And when we're carers for other people, we have to allow ourselves to really settle down and find our balance, and give ourselves time for love and rest and good food and exercise and things that are enjoyment, you know, because we can't just go around putting all our energy into other people without taking care of ourselves first. So I suppose that's kind of where I'm at right now. That's my thoughts, my musings.